Hi everyone, welcome to PowerShell for Penetration Testers at Pentester Academy. In this video, let's revisit remoting with PowerShell. Recall that we discussed it earlier. Now, having seen a lot of new things, let's get back to it. And in fact, let's see one more way to interact with remote machines. This is WSMAN, that is Web Services Management. It is an industry standard for management of different hardware devices across platforms and vendors. WSMAN is the basis of PowerShell remoting. In fact, WinRM is Microsoft's implementation of WSMAN. We will not go into details of the protocol. We are more interested in using it for command and script execution on a target. So let's use invoke WSMAN action for command execution on a remote machine. Note that all the commandlets related to WSMAN work would be similar to us for credentials replay. For example, this is the window which we started from this invoke mimikatz command in a previous video. So let's just paste our command here. So we want, if you notice the syntax, you will see that it is much similar to the WMI. We are in this namespace, we are using this class and the action of this class and this method of this class of the Win32 process class. The method is create, and then we are passing some arguments to that method. So let's use it. Note that like WMI, we do not see any output but the process ID. That means the process was created and the return value 0, that there was no error in syntax. Fair enough, but without getting any output from our command, it is not really helpful unless we are adding a user or installing a backdoor or something like that. So let's run a script on the target, and note that here we are not using the credential parameter because this PowerShell process is already running with the privileges of the local administrator on the domain PC machine. Let's use this. Note that our payload which we are downloading and executing in this case is the reverse PowerShell shellcode from Metasploit, and we want it to connect to a PowerCat listening on our local machine. So no need of running the Metasploit console. So if we run this, it has been executed and a process has been created on the remote machine. As you can see, it was downloaded and executed with a connection from the remote machine. So If we run who am I, we will see that we are the local administrator on the remote machine. So this way we can use wsman commandlets to execute commands and PowerShell scripts on a remote machine. Now let's do a quick discussion on why we had a look at wsman, how it is compared to PowerShell remoting and WMI. So first of all, wsman. wsman is firewall friendly, could run on HTTP and HTTPS ports. Its syntax is complex, as you can see there, not as easy as PowerShell remoting. And also, it returns inert objects. That is, its objects could not be changed after those are returned. PowerShell remoting is again firewall friendly, easy to use, but it returns inert objects. WMI is not PowerShell, not firewall friendly, not NAT netting friendly. Complex is not really easy to understand, but it returns editable objects. Another thing with wsman is that it is a direct implementation of an industry standard, so it is possible to use, for example, invoke wsman action to interact with non-Windows devices in a network. So that is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed running commands and scripts yet again. If you're enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, please recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the information security community.